For this Zentangle Quickie, we're going to take a look at the Tangle Merryweather by CZT Sandy Hunter. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm also a CZT, Certified Zentangle Teacher, that is. Merryweather is a nice grid pattern. And so I'm just going to do a 4 square. That's what I have in the step outs because I want you to be able to see. There were some small parts that I know I myself had some difficulty seeing. So I'm going to draw a grid. And again, just a 4 square, because you can then extrapolate from that and do as many squares as you want on your grid. You will get the picture. All right, so then let's divide this in half and in half. All right, so this one starts off with a bunch of curved lines on every side of the box. If you have done bales, that tangle, this is exactly the same thing, as that's how we're starting off. And a lot of times I like to just do each side and turn the tile. That way too, just for hand placement and ease of motion and consistency of motion also. Because it's like I get that curve, right? That natural curve in my hand, and it's just nice to keep that. All right. So once you have that done, then we're going to add some more curved lines, and you can pick whichever corner. I'm going to do them, I don't know. I'm going to do them all in the same direction, because if I try to do it fancy, then I know I'll, something will go awry. And, all right, so we're just going to do a curved line. So in between, so pick a diagonal. And so here I'm going on the upper left, and just a curved line, like so. And then on that bottom, and you can, either turn the tile or not. Sometimes I don't, especially if it's something small. And a curved line like so. And so what I was going to, okay, let me try to do fancy. I think I can. I was playing around with it, and I was trying to do it, and I was like, I got lost in doing it, which is a nice thing. That's what's fun about Zentangle, right? Is, and actually part of the purpose of Zentangle is that we can get lost in the pattern and just, with these repetitive strokes and just go to town. And, in the end, it doesn't really matter. But I had this in my mind as I was playing around with it, and it didn't happen. So, again, they can go all the same way, or like this, you can alternate them. That's up to you. Now, the next step, and this is where the step that I was looking at, it was so tiny I had trouble seeing. So this next step is in these little gaps that we've created now, where we made those curved lines. I'm going to kind of just do a little bit of a curved line coming from that corner, and then to that curved line that we were at. And then I'm going to do that for both sides. And there's not necessarily a lot of room to do it curved, but I think just a little bit of a curve is nice. Wow. I'm supposing you could probably do a straight line, maybe on an angle or something, like going out. I don't know. To me, this is what it looked like. And I think it looks nice. All right. So in each of those gaps, or where we put those curved lines, this is where we're putting another set of curved lines. Then I'm just going to put some, I'm kind of auraing this curve, so I'm just adding some small curved lines in what I just did. But I think it looks neat to kind of have them be curved, but, the same direction as that, as this big curve right here. And I'm also going to surmise that if you want to do something else there, you certainly can. Just like anything. All right. But personally, I like to get the tangle down the way the originator wants it, and then you can have fun. And you know what? Essentially, that is the entire tangle. Now, of course, you could add color, as I mentioned, just the angles, however you want. And she didn't really add shading in the step out that I was looking at. But just like anything, there's, you know, multiple ways to shade. One way, actually, you know what, I'm going to do it different. One way is just to do around the perimeter. But you know what I'm going to do is let me go this way. It's always better to put the point of your pencil to the line that you are putting the graphite on, or under, I should say. So I'm going on the outside. I haven't done this on Zentangle Quickie yet, but sometimes I like to do this, you know, when I do a regular tangle. The steps are, we do, and on some of my videos, you'll see I'll do the, you know, put 4 corner dots, make a border however I feel like it, and then usually we add a string, which is just some kind of a dividing line or lines, and then we add the tangles, and then we shade. And a lot of times, sometimes, I kind of got in a, I don't want to say rut, but I was just really enjoying doing this. And so I kind of got in that habit of shading to the outside like this. So I'm just using the tortillon with somewhat small circles and bringing that graphite to the outside of the border. It's just kind of neat because, as you can see, it adds this, you know, kind of a, I don't know if you want to call it a glow, if you will, but as you can see, it is popping this right off of the rest of the tile, and that is what is so neat. Especially neat about what, you know, what we do with shading, which is basically just to get that pop. All right, then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do either side of this. I'm putting just some graphite loosely. Actually, when I do this side too. And then I'll turn my tile. All right. And so I'm just adding I added some graphite in that curved line there, and I'm just smushing it out. Technical term. Oops, let me turn it. Same idea as I just mentioned with the pencil, with the tortillon. Aiming that tip to the line that you don't want to go over. And sometimes I do it the other way, and then sometimes I regret it. But it's just it's a nice rule of thumb. And actually, some of these I put the line of graphite not at the edge, but up a little bit, and I kind of like that because then it's you know, so it's darker right here where I put it, and a little lighter on either side, and that's kind of neat. I was thinking that as I was putting it down. And then some of them I put just on the edge. I'll just admit it, I wasn't really worried about where was I putting this. Just somewhere close. And so that's, you know, that just, doesn't that have a neat look? So you can shade this, again, any way that you want. Sometimes it's nice to not add too much. But I'm just feeling called to add some right here in the center. Actually, you know, you could also, so when I shade bales, I usually do it on the intersections like this, and bring it in. So that's another way, and you could leave these empty. It's just a thing about, you just don't want to add too much graphite, because then the whole thing is gray, and then, you know, kind of what's the point of that? As I was playing around with a tile that I had done previously, and I had this tangle here, and I'm like, well, I've got these 2 spaces, and so I added it down here, and this is where I kind of, you know, I was going to do it alternating every time, and then I kind of, like I said, I got lost in it, but at the same time, it does not matter. And then I did the same thing where I just added some graphite to either side, and it looks kind of neat. Could also, like I mentioned, just do it on those intersections. It's just kind of up to you and how you feel that it's calling to you to do. Could also, you know, if you feel like adding color, of course you can. But it's a neat tangle. So with that, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, thumbs up are greatly appreciated. And also in the description box, you'll find